Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sledgehammer Fight Show, Australia's #1 fight show. We've got a great episode coming up today. We're going to preview No Surrender 7. We're going to talk to Shannon Shaggy King. But first up, we're going to talk to a lady who's on an incredible roll of success lately, winning Australian titles left, right and centre. It's one in Thailand. She's the hottest ticket in town. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, we have Miss Sam Brown. Sam, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And you are one happy lady at the moment. Once again, you've won a WKBF Australian title just last Saturday, 6 days ago.
Yeah, 6 days ago, yeah.
That's good. Was it a tough fight?
Yeah, it was a really tough fight. I fought Tali Silverman. She's great. She's very technical. It was a good, fun fight.
With the fights that you've had lately, like you've been taking fights on short notice, still winning, getting to actually prepare for a few fights and still winning. And as a reward, the word I get is that you're going to appear on a TV reality show in Fusion.
Yeah, I fly out on Friday. I'm going to go train for a month in Thailand, train with Nugget at Elite Boxing. And then we start filming on the 12th of September for 2 weeks. So it's a pretty hectic show.
It's only a 2-week show, so you're going to have a fair few fights in that time.
Yeah, the end of the first week, because it's 18 girls, the end of the first week, 8 girls fight 8 girls. And then those 8 winners have an 8-girl eliminator a week later. Fortunately,
fighting 2 or 3 times in one night is something you've become used to. You won the 4-girl eliminator on the last No Surrender show.
Yeah, I did. It was a tough night. I broke my nose in the first fight and then continued on battle off with Claire Foreman in the last, and we went to town on each other. It was good. It was fun.
How many fights have you had?
13.
13, well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Unlucky for some, as they say in bingo, but not yourself.
13's my lucky number.
Hey, good on you. Hey, that's the way. Now, you also won the CMT title, and there's a good chance you could be fighting Lauren Williams at the end of the year.
Yeah, December 6th, we're planning to battle it off, so it should be a good fight. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see that for a while, so I'm pretty excited.
We're going to thank you once again for coming on the show, and it's great to have you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of myself and a lot of fight fans in Queensland, Australia, we just want to wish you a lot more success for the future.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest on the show is Scott Moss. Scott is promoting No Surrender 7 on September the 6th at Fitzy's Tavern at Logan. Now, Scott, you have a massive main event for that card.
Yeah, we've got a massive main event. First time we've got a pro fight, Taylor Harvey versus Ambrose Mateo. So they're going to go 5-3s, full Thai rules. And yeah, so it's going to be a very big card. We've spent a lot of money. It's the first time we've gone that big, but it's sort of, we've got to step it up because there's that many shows around at the moment. You sort of got to have something different. So we've gone the whole Queensland versus New South Wales rivalry.
Female fight on the card, you've got Melina the Young from the Urban Fight Gym with Richard Walsh up against Eden Reindeers.
Yeah, well, Melina's been active for the last year. She's been pretty busy, where Eden's had a bit of time off, but she's got a pretty quality record, only 1 fight that she's lost out of 12 fights. So, but Melina's been active, so it's going to be a very interesting fight. I expect 5-2s, a full Thai war. Like, I don't expect it to be a short night. I think both girls are going to stand there for 5-2s and keep punching on.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's a very anticipated fight, that one. Like you said, Melina's had a great record lately, but Eden's a tough customer and she's very cool under pressure too.
Yeah, both from strong gyms too, with strong trainers. So you basically got your Richard Walsh versus Soren Mongkong Tong. So it's massive. It's going to be, I think it's going to come down to the corners at the end of the day.
A lot of the guys who know Scott, and a lot of people who don't know Scott, would be very surprised to know that Scott's actually sings his own music in a death metal band of all things.
I'm classically trained, so I've done a lot of training for vocals and stuff like that. Toured Australia a few times, played Big Day Out, played Soundwave Festival, also won an award for music and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people don't know it, so I sort of keep it to myself.
I don't know if I told you, I'm a pretty good singer myself, you know.
I'm sure you are, Jimmy.
No, I am. I can sing something for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, as long as you blokes don't edit it out. Hey, once again, I'd like to thank Scott for coming on the show. Now, don't forget, No Surrender 7. It's on September the 6th at Fitzy's Tavern. It's going to be a great night to go, and it's a night certainly not to be missed, Scotty. Thank you once again.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Now, with any further ado, we're off to Steve Della's Fortitude Valley Boxing Gym with the movie star. Chopsticks for today's technique workshop. Okay, once again, here we are at the Fortitude Boxing Gym, run by Steve Della, the training place of champions. Okay, what we're going to work on today, I've got my good friend Chopsticks, he's come back for another go. And what we're going to work on today is the art of leg checking and checking kicks to the body and cantering. We've got a few simple techniques we're going to use that are very effective. Now, Chopsticks here happens to be a very good leg kicker, and if I'm fighting Chopsticks, and he's having a great time kicking my leg, I'm in a lot of trouble because eventually that thigh of mine and my hammies are going to get very sore and it's going to be very hard to walk. And when you can't walk and you can hardly balance, you can't throw your punches either. Now, the leg check is probably one of the simplest things for a fighter to learn, but there is still a right way and a wrong way to do it. The wrong way is when Tony goes to kick me, I just stick my leg up in the air. You kick as hard, please, Tony. See, he's putting me off balance. Because what I'm doing is I'm sticking that leg up and Tony's getting that full velocity into the kick. Now what I want to do is try and intercept that kick halfway there. So when that leg kick comes, I turn it and I'll come to the outside. Now this is pretty simple stuff, and a lot of the internet smarties are going to say, well, anyone can do that. But anyone can't do that. And it's the simple stuff that wins you fights, not the complicated stuff. So we're going to go through this once again. The kick comes, you come straight to the outside and I'll meet that kick. Just like that. That's all we're doing. Okay? Because if I kick that way, Tony just kicks me right through and Jimmy's off balance. We're in a whole lot of trouble. Okay, now this next technique, after I checked the leg kick, is one I picked up from a fighter called Michael Demetrio. He's a good Melbourne fighter and a very good Muay Thai exponent. Now what he does, when this kick comes, he checks it to there. Not only does he check it, we'll go through this quickly. Okay, when he checks it, he checks, keeps his balance, and uses that front kick. Okay, it's not an overly powerful kick, but it's a good technique. Okay, so chopstick comes in, kicks, up, kick, like that. And it just keeps him off balance. Demetrio finds a way to balance himself after it. He's actually left-handed too. So when he's doing it, the kick would come from there, 1, 2, that way. You see how that works for the left-hander? And that's how this guy does it. Okay, another good technique, if Tony's kicking me to the rib cage, and there's those kicks coming in. Now I want to use that same technique, but what we're going to do is when that kick comes, that leg comes up high, and you point out once again, because if I'm kicking there, he just kicks right through me. There's nowhere to go. Now when I check outwards that way, you're going to notice my knee and my elbow come together, because I don't want to give chopsticks a gap to go through. Now it's very important not to leave it out, because if there's a gap like this when Tony kicks, I guarantee you, chopsticks will find it. So when you go to check, you come straight up, boom, like that. When you do that, you can come straight back in with that leg kick afterwards. Very good counter technique. Once again, it's very simple as well.
This program's brought to you by Outfox, with hundreds of free channels covering sports, entertainment, news and more. All at outfox.tv.
On my right hand side we have Shannon, Shaggy King. Shannon's the world K1 champion at his time, was also the Australian light middleweight champion, and he had to give that title up through injury, but on September the 3rd, on Angelo Di Carlo's promotion, he goes for the title once again. And Shaggy, how are you feeling for the fight, mate? You must be pretty well up for it?
Yeah, well this time I've had probably a little bit more prep than I normally have.
Yep.
So I'm pretty busy with other stuff, so I don't get the 3-month camps that most athletes do.
Yeah.
But I've at least probably had a good 5 solid weeks preparing for this, which is probably more than normal. So I'll probably be fitter than I've ever been.
Actually, the word I hear is that you rarely ever get much time to train for your fights because you're always so busy, like you're running 2 businesses as well, and you're looking after other fighters, so time for Shaggy King is sort of pretty much at a minimum.
Well, we actually now have 81 active fighters at Corporate Box. Some are amateurs, some are pros. I think we have at this stage probably about 31 pro fighters registered, so I'm taking care of their bloods, their regos, their flights to go away, their flights to come back, how they get from the gym to the airport, everything. So yeah, we're really, really busy. So.
Now you're fighting Ray Ontalate. Now that's going to be at the Eaton's Hill on Angelo Di Carlo's Ace Boxing Promotions.
Yep, that's it's live on Foxtel as well on the Wednesday night. I kind of owe Ray a bit of a favour because when I won the Australian title, I went to defend it against Craig Hill Jr. and I tore my ab 2.5 centimetres and cartilage from my rib, so I had to pull out. So because it's live on Fox, I didn't want to do the promoter any injustice, so I handed the belt back, and Ray Ontalate and Craig Hill fought for it, and so Ray took it on a week's notice, and they had a draw. So no one got the belt, but it doesn't come back to me. So I had to then try to go to Orange to fight for it against Sam RC. There was a little bit of controversy there we won't go into. the AMBF demanded a rematch with him and me, and he didn't want it, so he's handed the belt back in. So now the favour's getting thrown back to Rayon Talade that stepped in at last minute for me last time.
The big fight of the year could be when you fight Toby Smith later this year.
I'm excited for that. I'm fighting boxing on the 3rd of September, then I'm fighting full Thai on the 4th of October on Preacher Fight Night, and then hopefully before the end of the year the Toby one. The deal I've been offered, I've accepted. Now the promoter, Pride and Glory, I think he's just trying to work out a date.
Oh, cool.
You know?
Just incidentally, the 4th of October, who are you matched up with?
Well, the one that I've been told that I've matched up with, but obviously could change to then, is a guy that just got a 1-second knockout in Thailand in Thai fight.
Yeah.
It was a little bit controversial as well, where he tapped gloves and actually push kicked the guy in the face and knocked him out within one. So a bit of a bad sportsmanship / knockout. You know?
Yeah, it's probably not quite the done thing.
No, I'd be keen to give him a lesson for that.
I'll tell you, this fight was Toby, like all your fights, like I've been watching you fight for 15 years and you've never not shown up mentally for a fight. But the one with Toby, he's the big dog in the Muay Thai yard at the moment. And that's going to be one you're really pumped up for. Like being a young fella, it's probably a little bit difficult to trade with him, but I'm sure you're the sort of bloke who'll have other plans. Not that you have to divulge them at the moment.
No, well, I watched John Wayne versus Toby, and I think John Wayne's same age as me. Actually, might be a little bit older, so I'm a little bit younger than John Wayne. But I think John Wayne's game plan was wrong. He went in trying to punch on with a young kid. You know what I mean? So I think you just need to use skill against Toby. That's your only chance of winning.
With the corporate box gym, and this is one of the good things about what you fellas are doing. Like I know with my dojo, we get stuck having to train guys at a set time. And if they can't make it, well, they can't train. Unfortunately, I lost a great talent in Jake Lund in that way, who obviously came to you fellas and has kicked some enormous goals since. But having a 24-hour gym, the Thai trainers coming over, you've got Azza helping you, people like Preacher there who are fighting as well. It must be a pretty good advantage for you.
I've always been into business, so I've always been busy. I'm always into houses. I like property. I like that kind of thing as well. So, but I still want to be a fighter. But at Nuggets, he would turn up for you every day, not disputing that, really, really good. But being in business, I couldn't turn up every day, you know? So I'd have to try to fight at the top level, and then sometimes I wouldn't be able to, like I was telling you before when I fought Dale the Damager, 2 weeks out from the fight, I trained twice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So then...
It's just not enough.
So I built Corporate Box because our sport doesn't have enough money yet, you know what I mean? So I built Corporate Box you could concentrate on work, you could concentrate on providing for your family, and there's always going to be hours where you can still get training in.
And as far as businesses go, you've got one that's a little bit different, opening a barber shop, and everybody who's anybody in the fight game knows having your hair done right is second only in importance to your walkout music. And it's pretty good to have a barber shop right next door to where you are.
How that came about is we actually own the property next door as well, and it was vacant for a while. And then I was racking my brain, thinking what would go good with the gym. And as you said, I was thinking about all the boys getting haircuts and all the new. Well, I used to be shaggy, not so shaggy anymore. But these new haircuts, you're getting done every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So the boys don't have to travel to the gym, travel to there to get done, and do all of this. We've built one next door. It's really good. It's really popular. We've had Jess. She just got her hair done before her last fight. She got a big shave up the side. I think it's going to be big. It's already really busy.
It's definitely a vacation with plenty of fringe benefits, I'd imagine.
You'd be more than welcome to come in for a free shave. There,
I need it too, don't worry. Be picking up all the trimmings for sure, Shaggy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Shaggy to take his time out. Like he's training for big fights. He's running 2 gyms, 2 businesses, and he's still taking his time out to come to the Sledgehammer Fight Show. Shaggy, good luck on the 3rd. We'll all be watching in Australia too.
Thanks, mate.
And that's it for today's show. But before we go, Angelo DiCarlo has told me he's willing to give away 10 free tickets to the fights on September the 3rd at Eaton's Hill. The first 10 people to get onto the Sledgehammer Fight Show page and contact myself or Angelo will get the tickets. That's all we have time for today. And once again, you've just watched the Sledgehammer Fight Show.